budget pay memes from Wish. Rowdy. And here we go. We have reached our semifinals. For context, the winner of this series moves on to the grand finals, where the best of 5 will be held against the winner of Gumiho, Oliveira, and Solar. Until then, though, we have our first semifinals. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Radizet Station, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming, the best Zerg in all South Korea. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, but one of the best Terrans in South Korea. It is Cure. Here we go. Again, predictions going to be open for another minute or so, so place your bets while you can on how you think this series will go. I'm already surprised. I'm already shocked because we are on Radizet Station. This is typically an insta-veto for Zerg players. It's a very commonly vetoed map for Zerg players. The reason for this is because you can establish yourselves on 2, 3, and then 4 bases very easily on this map. Very difficult to harass, very difficult to punish. But in saying that, it's Dark we're talking about. And Dark is a very aggressive player. We have seen him Lin Queen Nidasol in many a Terran. And I'm curious if he is willing to ramp up the aggression if Cure is too greedy. That's the thing, you know, if Cure does decide to cut some corners, does decide to take advantage of this pocket base and get a faster third CC, he will be punished for it, I'm sure. Likewise, we'll see how greedy Dark is as well, and how quickly he takes his own expansions, his own 4th even. For now, standard openers, it is going to be a Rax Expand, Reaper first here from Cure. He is going to skip his SCV scout, but he's going for the Reaper scout across the map instead, looking for some scouting information. Another reason that makes this map a little bit brutal is that there is no Reaper cliff, as in if you hold here at this ramp, there's no way to bypass it and to get into any other of these bases, as Dark is looking to take his 3rd. So standard opener out of our Zerg player as well, hatch gas pool into a 3rd, nothing too out of the norm. Reaper does dip in towards that natural base, and he does want to drone. He won't get it. Lings do zone him away. Queen pops out just in time, and Dark will force Cure back. 3rd base has been taken. Cure going straight for a 3rd CC before starport, as to be expected here at that 3rd base, at that pocket base location. And Dark is currently not aware. For the time being, he's not fully aware of what is going on and what the opener is. Now, we have seen Dark punish 3cc openers with Lin Queen Nidasol ins, but as I say, that doesn't mean that's what has to happen here from Dark. But again, he's more than willing to be aggressive. It's just difficult to do so on this map. That's the problem. And it's a classic. Cure, he's been quite fond of this opener as well. It's going to be 3cc into an add-on swap, and we're going into initial cyclones. Now, this isn't mass cyclone. This is only 2 cyclones, and the goal here is to shut down overlords, is to shut down the vision here of Dark and vie for map control. Cure is going to be getting into bio from here. He is not going mech. There it is. 2 more Raxes are thrown down. Big delay on the starport, actually. Oh my god. Okay. As the Overlord is going to fall. We have 2 Cyclones. We're making 2 more behind this. Interesting variation here from Cure. It's, yeah, like a 3 racks before starport here after a 3rd TC. Very interesting. Very peculiar. Behind this, Rotorn's on the way. Dark is not rushing into a lair, so he's not going to be going for a Nidasol in or anything like that. He is looking to play straight up. Impressive. Yeah. Let's go. Show me the way, Poppy. Show me the way. Cyclones are moving out again. They're looking to hunt down whatever overlords they can. Behind this, we are just saturating our bases. 3rd base being taken on location. Now that the minerals have been mined out, Cure can establish his 3rd. And again, a big delay on the starport. Because of that, even though we're building up a marine count, I guess this is also because of the add-on swap. Because we don't have a reactor on a Rax, we actually don't really have that many marines, so there's no reason to get into a starport because we're not going to be able to hit a timing. we won't have 16 Marines in time for Cure. So to make up for that, we delay the starport and we get a third Rex instead. So it's all piecing together. It all makes sense. It all makes sense in the end. As the Cyclones reveal themselves, the Dark is going to be able to, again, just establish his bases. He's working on his fourth already. Again, a very safe fourth base. And he's working on 1-1 on those Evo chambers. Really, I feel like my eyes are on Cure. They're on Cure to see how hard he commits, especially because he didn't just make 4 Cyclones. He's making a 5th and 6th Cyclone as well. He committed very hard to them. Obviously, he just has them as a marauding force, but they're going to add quite a lot of utility to the main push. It's just really interesting because typically we expect to see like 4, 6 to 8 Hellions for map control. Instead, Cure gets 2 Hellions and mainly Cyclones for map control instead. And with that, he can even threaten this hatchery. Roaches have been spotted, but we get a lock on. Oh. Cure does have to back off. 1 Cyclone almost gets shut down. As Dark has droned up to 70 workers at this point. Lings are on the way, Bailey Nest as well. The Roaches were just for safety initially. Dark not even investing into Roach speed. When these Cyclones are getting a bit out of hand, they do take down 2, 3 Roaches. But here come those Lings, and it looks like Cure may have just overextended. And every single Cyclone will go down. Brutal loss here. This was a big investment. An investment that didn't really get much done. Really, with those Cyclones, he killed 3 Roaches. He didn't even kill the Overlord with them. That was the Marines, if you remember. But the army is out of position, and here comes the double drop into the natural base. A very late double drop, 7-minute drop here from Cure because of the opener. But the Lings are in position, the drones survive, and Dark holds. And now I'm a little bit concerned for Cure. He lost quite a lot of Marines in that drop. He lost all of his map control, the Cyclones, the Hellions. Again, it was a big investment that just did not pay off. And from here, Dark is going Ling, Bane, Hydra into a hive. So a really solid defense so far here from Dark. Infestors are on the way to lock down these drops, to lock down the army. Do you have another double drop coming out? So Cure going to try and pull apart the attention of Dark. Dark fully aware as he had control of the Zonaga, so he will split up his forces. Army on the right hand side. He's got an army towards the left, forcing out a stim. And behind this Cure, he's going for a bio mine heavy composition. He's got a couple of tanks to secure himself, but focusing a lot more on widow mines instead. As he does get caught out, double drop towards the main base. We have Spores and Queens in position, and the medevac will not make it in. And we, oh my god, we do land a pretty juicy fungal, shutting down some of those Marines. Likewise, again, Cure doing the best he can to try to pull apart Dark, and Dark is being spread thin. To be fair, like, we're spread quite far here between these bases. Despite that, Dark is able to keep up. Cure getting saturated here on 4 bases, working on a 5th. We mentioned this earlier, but this is the power of Radisson Station, is that Cure doesn't have to worry about bailing run-bys or counterattacks. Like, he can pretty freely and happily establish himself on these 4 bases, which is why I'm impressed, which is why I'm a little bit shocked that Dark didn't veto this map. Dark is basically saying, hey, Cure, you know what? You can get a free 4 bases. You can get a free economy, and I'm still going to kill you. I'm still going to bring you down. Now, that's a bold statement to make, but we'll see if he can keep his word. Hive is done. We're getting into Adrenal, Ultra Cavern as well. Cure up to 77 workers, again working on that 5th base. 3-3 on the way. Oh, a bit of a slip up there from Cure, losing some more Marines. And again, he has to respect these infestors. He has to try to avoid those fungals. Here we go, Dark coming in from behind. He catches the tanks unsieged. Decent mine connections. Pretty good, actually. The Fungle's not too bad either, but where is the Ling Bane? We may not have enough. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but Cure will take the fight. Again, the army not quite coming together for Dark in the end, and he will lose this hatchery. Dark, he needs time to remax, to rebuild. He keeps his spellcasters alive. He's got Vipers on the way as well. Cure, though, he is gaining ground. He has quite a bit of momentum going his way. Not enough energy for any more Fungals. Decent power bombs. And it looks like Dark will clean this up. Again, reinforcements, they just took a little bit too long to get here. And Cure is not turning around. He is committing, and he's bleeding out quite a lot of units. Here we go. He's bringing his Marauders together. Dark, can he really contest against this as we have a bunch of reinforcements coming in? And Cure, he stands his ground. Dark, in the middle of that fight, he lost his Infestors. No more Fungals are available. Lings are on the way. Still very close. Up. No. Every time we have a freeze, I hold my breath. I'm like, is it me? Don't let it be me, as Summering Up does lag out for a moment there. Hopefully she can come back, and hopefully the internet issues are resolved. Fingers crossed, and then she can rejoin in game number 2 or in the finals. So now Dark is going to be able to collapse on this army, push on forward. Cure losing his ground. Dark going for the gold as well. And Dark can attempt to stabilize from here. Attempt to. Again, the scary thing that I should maybe put a little bit more onus on, as some of these mines are going to go down, is the fact that Cure's economy is untouched. That's why Dark is playing this on hard mode, where Cure, his economy is just out of control, out of this world. That's why he can just keep the pressure on and keep the rally going. Dark just hasn't been able to touch it. He hasn't been able to hinder the economy whatsoever from Cure. As more Marines and Marauders are rallying on in. Oh, the Vipers. Oh, overextending for a moment as well. They will connect with some power bombs, forcing some friendly fire as well from those mines. And here we go, Dark going for the surround. Decent mine shots though. And the mine shots, they were good enough. Dark trying to squeeze out ultras of all things. Can he get there? Up! As we aren't able to split in time. Good bailing connection from Dark. He is holding. Again, I'm a little bit surprised that Dark is going into ultras, not lurkers. I feel like lurkers would have been a little bit more of a clean transition. As Cure is gaining ground. Infestors on the way. Cure has to back up for a moment, wait for more reinforcements. 6th base on the way for Cure. My god. And Dark, despite getting the gold, he hasn't been able to saturate it. He hasn't been able to mine from this base. There it is. Double Job moving out towards the right-hand side. Dark trying to catch some reinforcements, but he misses the main army. And we don't want to be too preemptive with that surround. Double Job has been spotted. Dark trying to keep up with it. Mine shots once again going up. But the splits, they aren't quite there. And it looks like Dark, he has enough to swallow up this army. The Banelings are stuck behind the Hydras. We need to get in, Papi. A bit of an awkward fight from Dark, but he will clean this up nonetheless. The Queen's coming in. The medevacs go down. At the same time, towards the bottom right, it looks like the Double Job also doesn't gain much ground either. And now Dark, he can stabilize. He can actually make those ultras. He does have kindness plating. He's got ultra speed. No ultras yet. We're getting there. As Cure is now working on a 7th base. Hasn't attempted to take the gold yet, and again, we do have to bear in mind that that drop is still active towards the bottom right. But here we go, Cure pushing in once again, this time with more mines, this time with ghosts as well for EMPs. Oh, the mines, they do not connect. Not the connections we were looking for. Up! Oh, even forcing some friendly fire. And the ghosts are looking exposed. No, the ghosts. They're left out of the open. The medevacs go down, and this was a big overextension from Cure. Looting such an expensive army. Every ghost goes down, and that may just be all she wrote. Cure, he was keeping up for such a long time. He had refined his army, but fighting out here, out in the open, this was not it. He gets completely surrounded, and Cure just lost all the momentum he had. His bank is gone. He's got a couple of ghosts, sure, but maybe even thinking a little bit too far ahead. Ghosts are good against ultras, against lurkers, but Dark, he's staying on a Ling Bane Hydra army. Very mobile, very flexible. And now Dark can start to threaten these bases. One by one, these planetaries are going to go down. And Cure cannot stop it. He cannot save it. And planetary falls. The first one at least. Dark does back up. We can see Cure attempting to take the gold base as well over towards the south. Dark is in position to spot this. And Cure has been able to remax. You know, there was a moment here for Dark, and with that moment he was able to take down a base. Good abduction on one of those ghosts. Up. Oh, so you do get a good mine shot on those lings. But once again, Dark is coming in to deny this CC. And he's getting some decent connections, and the CC is under threat. The SCVs as well. Last Dark, he bleeds out a little bit too much. Again, a lot of his supply is tied up here towards the south to deny this base. So Dark doesn't have his entire army here. There we go, he's rerouting his forces. Kind of, he's a bit all over the place. He does have to bring everything together, and there we go. The entire army does converge on this force, on this army of Cure. Decent mine shots. Decent mine shots. We have more where that came from as well. Oof. Again, good kiting from Cure. Pulling back to those mines. Takes down a hatchery. Decent snipes as well. The infestors, they do connect with the fungal, but I don't know if we have enough Ling Bane. We barely do. The fungals out of left field. The Balings connect. And Dark will clean up this army once again for a second time. The fungals, the infestors being the MVPs there. And we will be able to surround and collapse on these ghosts once again. Here, once again, having some rough fights out here. This planetary should fall. Oh, ghosts do come in. The ultras, finally, we're getting the ultras. They're coming back. The ultra haven't finished like 10 minutes ago. We're finally getting into them. Once again, a good engagement here from Dark. No mines to support, no splash damage, whether they're in mines or tanks. Finally, the Widow mines, they do come back in. But Dark has maxed out, this time with ultras. Honestly, I don't know if ultras are really ideal here. I mean, I guess there aren't that many ghosts anymore because the ghost count was reset. Gonna be long distance mining. I like how we have some marauding infestors here in position as well. As Cure is not taking the gold. Scan does reveal an infestor. And another scan as well. Good EMP! Oh my god. A good trade here from Cure. Snipes that ultra immediately as well. And now Dark has to make a choice. Does he focus his attention on top left or on this gold base? What does he go for? He is trying to split up his forces. I mean, Cure is stabilizing once again. Now that he has the gold up and running, he has remaxed. Cure is still in this. He has traded inefficiently and has been losing a lot of ghosts, yes, but he has been able to rebuild. Another fungal though on the ghosts. Another brutal loss. But at the same time, here he gets into a mineral line. But the fungals are real. Do we have enough to clean this up though? I'm not too sure if we do. Yeah, we just tanked the fungals. We don't even care. At the same time though, Dark, he's busting in towards the natural. Everything is on fire. Dark gonna be losing some bases. Gonna be losing 2 hatcheries. And what is he really getting done across the map? I guess he's catching reinforcements. But 2 hatcheries go down. Things suddenly going south here for Dark. Gets into the pocket base. Gets into the natural. Yeah, the reinforcers, they clean up the tanks. Yeah, the tanks, they clean up the ultras. Basically tanks. As Dark is forced back. Now, he does keep most of his workers alive. That's what's important. His workers did remain alive, and he killed 14 SCVs here in these pocket bases. And Dark is able to remax. He remaxes here with more lings, more ultras. He takes down top left. Completely isolated. Curious coming in. Good snipes. We're not looking too bad. Good mine shot does connect here with the army. And Dark, he has to back off. Oh, we're committing. Committing without fungals. Bold move. Mine shots don't quite connect either. And the ultras are going down. This was not the fight for Dark to take. Again, without fungals, without any spellcasters, he couldn't really engage, and he's going to lose everything. The Hydras do fall. At the same time, Ling reinforcements are going to be denying some of these southern bases. We need to stop this goal base. That's what matters most. Cure, he's on 34 workers. He barely has an economy. This goal base is keeping him in this. And there it is. GG gets called. Dark, he runs out of steam. And Cure will take game number 1. GG. Very back and forth. Very back and forth game. But again, we saw some of the features of Radisson Station really well highlighted there. The fact that for a very long time, Dark could not really counterattack or harass or really touch the economy of Cure just because of the base layout and because of, again, how the map works. It wasn't until these major fights were going Dark's way where he was able to actually collapse on some of these bases and take down some of these planetaries. Then he was finally able to do something about the economy. Outside of that, though, we saw, yeah, quite a more back and forth. Kira multiple times was caught out by those ghosts and was losing quite a lot of supply quite inefficiently as well out in the open. But what mattered most was that he was also crippling the economy of Dark as well, and we saw a really rough fight towards the end. Everything was on a knife's edge until the end of that game. And we saw. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. Till the end of the game, and we saw things quickly snowball in favor of Cure once he was able to collapse on that army, clean up those ultras, and take down Dark. I'm also not entirely convinced about the ultra switch. I mentioned before that it did feel like a more seamless transition would have been to go into lurkers. Ultras are also quite expensive, especially once ghosts hit the field. Ultras, they're not the most impactful of units. Regardless, GG, well played. Cure takes the lead in the series, and he's 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming down in this series. Look at the fight back. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. Now, when it comes to, again, game 1, I do think that a lot of how that game played out was very unique to the map itself. And that's also like a plus side about Raptors at Station, is that it does lead to unique games overall and unique dynamics between these players. But I do think that Game 2 and Game 3 are going to be quite different, and we will see a very different back and forth between Cure and Dark. As the Cure is going to be going for the low ground 2 racks. Okay, hello. It's been a while. In the new patch, we saw it in the last game, but in the new patch, Cure has been very fond of the 3cc before starport into Cyclones, which we saw in the previous game where he went up to 6 Cyclones. I think he typically goes up to 4, but last game he just doubled down and went up to 6. It's a way that he enjoys to get map control and just shut down overlords. Oh, we do get a bit of a lag spike. Hopefully everything's okay. But yeah, it's a way for him to get map control, and Kira's been very fond of it. He's been very fond of it. We've seen Maru play around with it a little bit as well. But here we're going to be reverting to the previous patch, and we're going for a 2 racks opener with these Reapers. The goal here is to delay the 3rd base and to contain Dark to 2 bases for as long as we can. As the Overlord is going to dip on in, and Dark is going to confirm the opener. Oh, so we are experiencing a little bit of latency. I hope everything's okay for all the casters. There we go. First Reaper is getting across the map. We have a 2nd and 3rd Reaper on the way as well. Oh, Dark being a little bit bold here. Going to try to expand it. Oh, he doesn't. There we go. Cure, he will get eyes on this drone. And he will be able to delay that 3rd base. Oh, I think that's me, actually. Uh-oh. If of course I do end up lagging out, I'm more than happy to leave. Okay, I had Steam open. We're good. Don't know why I had Steam open. But the Reapers, they do get across the map. The 3rd base is being taken elsewhere, though. We only make... No, actually, we're doubling down. We're making a 4th Reaper here for Cure. Alas, the Lings have arrived. More Lings are on the way. Ling speed about to kick in. And Dark, he does establish his 3rd. Cure unable to delay it for too much longer. As he's getting into his 3rd TC. Into his factory. He is transitioning. Cure, he does come across those Lings, and he will chase them down. We'll hunt down some of those Lings. Again, a little bit surprised that we're committing this hard here for Dark, as we really want to try to catch those Reapers. Additional Lings on the way, and now Dark is going to back off and go back into droning. Now, what I will say is that because we made so many Lings, like, this does impact the economy of Dark, and it does mean that his worker count is lower than it should be at this stage of the game. But it may be worth it as he's knocking down these rocks. Setting up for the mid game. As Cure is going for a 3cc 2-1-1. Now, another big kind of moment here for Cure with this opener, as he was able to delay the 3rd for a moment, not too long, but for a moment, is that he will have a stim timing. Not just that, but he also has a couple of Widow Mines. He has a couple of Reapers as well to join with the army to disrupt the army of his opponents, and yet to actually micro. Like, KDA charges with these bio pushes do surprisingly well. Like, they're surprisingly impactful. I'm sure we'll be able to see it here. There's 2 medevacs working towards our eventual drop. Looking to hit the field soon. Meanwhile, Darky's just establishing his bases. He's droning on up, taking his 3rd. Going for double Evo chambers. So Dark is cutting some corners because he's aware of the fast 3rd TC. Dark is going to be delaying his lair and delaying his Baneling Nest in favor of these 2 upgrades. So again, Dark going for faster upgrades and going to be delaying his overall safetyness of Banelings for quite some time. But I appreciate it. Ling Bane here from Dark. Ling Bane. Cure is going to be moving out. As long as we have enough queens, we should be fine. We have 7 queens and plenty of Lings to defend. This should not get out of control, even with the Reapers. As Cure is mainly looking to clear up creep. And he gets quite a number of tumors. Dark, though, not too far behind, able to re-spread said creep as well. As Cure rotates around. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to dive too far into creep. Doesn't want to lose those medevacs, as the queens are ready to focus them down. And Dark will get away with this fourth. Ducklings, they come in first round as well. He does see an opening, and Cure's going to be bleeding out a couple of units before backing on off. But he keeps the majority of his Marines alive. And again, the goal here is just to keep a check, or keep an eye on the creep and keep it in check. This Cure is just saturating his third. Tanks are moving out, and this has just been the setup for the 7-minute push. This time with reinforcements with the Marines, with tanks. And we're looking to lay siege upon this fourth base. We'll see how good the positioning is for Cure. Baneling Nest still on the way, so Dark is going to have to defend with Pure Ling Queen. 0 Banelings. So tanks are getting in position. Oh, and just like that, oh my god, workers already go down. Dark looking to give up his fourth base. Yeah, aware that this position may just be too good. At the same time, a drop distracting. It's an empty drop, Poppy. It's a fake out. Oh my god. Dark a little bit distracted by the drop play. And again, he should have to give up on this base, but the Lings are coming in. Lings are setting up first around. The hatchery did take a lot of hits. And Cure is trading well, to be honest. He's cleaning up a lot of these Lings. Once again, this medevac distracting Dark. But finally, he can go for this round. Like, unironically, Lings were just constantly chasing these drops. But the tanks go down. Dark is stabilizing. Is down in army supply, though. And here comes the second wave. Here comes the second push from Cure. Time with another tank. Baneling speed just now started. Queen's pushing up forward. Good target firing on the medevacs. He gets one. And he manages to get on top of the tank as well. Cure, he's running out of steam a little bit here. He has to respect the Banelings. Has to respect the creep. Behind this, Fort CC. Drilling claws, getting into Widow Mines. As that occurs, Dark tries to go for a run by, but alas, we are in position. A lot of Lings do go down. And again, I do appreciate the Cure. He doesn't overstay his welcome. He's cleaned up creep, but he's not trying to force the issue here at the fourth base. Dark expanding towards the north. As I say that, Cure, he wants a queen, he wants two. Good pickoffs. 2 queens go down, and the medevac barely survives. Cure, he's looking for some multi-pronged aggression. He's active here with a double drop towards the north as well. At the same time, he takes a fourth base, but the Lings are here to deny it. They don't get any worker kills, but they will get on top of those Marines. Oh, the Banelings roll in. Ooh. Decent connection. SCVs, they do rally on forward into the fourth base. SCVs going down for free. Dark dips the hell out of there. Behind this, Dark getting into Lingbane Hydra. Creep is less than ideal. Cure has done a great job at keeping the creep at bay here towards the south and north. Dark has very little map presence. Another queen goes down. Oh my god. The stutter stepping, Poppy. As Dark is still trying to stabilize. That's the thing. Like, Dark, I feel like this entire time has been on the back foot just because of the aggression of Cure. Double drop. This time a real double drop. Working towards that main. And Cure, he is trying to pull Dark apart. Getting another. How many queens have we sniped already? Barely doesn't get that one. Ooh, forcing some friendly fire even. As this drop is finally going to be dealt with. The protection comes in. Winter mines go down. But as all this has been happening, Cure is able to establish his fourth. Get it back up and running. 5th CC on the way. And Cure, he hasn't gone for any major pushes. He just has a tri-pronged attack, basically. He's got a double drop here towards the south. He's got a double drop threatening the main. And another army pushing towards that 5th. And he's denying a 6th base. Oh my god, massive connection with that mine. As Curie's just been building up his forces back at home. He's still working towards one big push. And it does feel like Cure is getting a bit out of hand. Workers going down in the main. Queens as well. Dark having a hard time reacting. Lurkers have arrived though. Lurkers, they will help stabilize, but we only have a handful of them. Shop finally gets cleaned up on the right hand side. There is no lurker in position. Up. Oh my, the friendly fire. The Marines. They go down to the mines. Dark barely holding on. He's got one more lurker in production here. Again, I feel like these lurkers are the only thing keeping him in this game. He's able to hold on here with the minimal amount of units towards the south. He can focus on the north. But Cure is about to max out. He's getting a 5th base. He's getting out of control. Now, Dark, he just needs time. He needs time to make more lurkers. Like, he's solid here towards the south. He needs a couple of lurkers towards the north as well. They're on the way. And then Dark can stabilize. Then Dark can max out himself. Oof. And he's holding. Like, this entire time, Cure is maxed. He's trying to break through. He's trying to end the game. Dark, he's slowly getting there. Things are going for a full surround. They catch the Marauders, and this is going to be a big trade, a big win here for Dark. Cleans up most of the army. Up! This time doesn't force friendly fire. But just like that, again, Dark, he is evening things up. The Lunkers, Bobby, the Lunkers. We're holding. Nidus Swarm is done. We have vision of the main base. Dark looking to go for that Nidus into the main. And now Cure is working on those ghosts. He's now working on his answer to those lurkers. He has reinforcements in the main base. His Nidus will not finish. It will be shut down. So we have another Nidus on the way. Again, typically our answer for lurkers is ghosts, tanks, a more tank-heavy composition instead of winter mines. Likewise, liberators as well. Big connection on those lings. But Dark, he's getting ready to pull Cure apart. Now Cure's going to be on the defensive. As lurkers, they waddle into the Nidus. They can look to threaten this 3rd base, but there are ghosts waiting for the lurkers. Uh-oh. There it is. The lurkers, they do unload, going straight for that 3rd base. Now, is Cure going to be paying attention? Can he snipe in time? He will! Ooh. 3 lurkers. Oh my god. 4 lurkers go down instantly for not 5 lurkers, for not a single ghost. Oh my god. Oh, this entire time we've been building up towards the lurkers and 5 of them go down instantly, but here we go. Dark sending everything back across them. He wants to surround all these ghosts. Impossible. It's a cancel on a CC. Cure, he does react in time. At the same time, lurkers here towards the north will be denying a base. Cure being spread thin, not in position. But he does rotate over with those ghosts. Oh, it's a kill, not a cancel on the CC. And the lurkers, they will evacuate with that Nidus Worm. Not spotted, by the way. But the goal here for Dark is to just go back and forth, try to pull Cure apart. He's building up his bank as well, working on Vipers, working on 3-3. Nidus will finish. The Lunker coming back in. Up. Barely makes it through. 4 going down. Good fungal here. We do catch some of the Bio Army. Once again, Dark trying to catch Cure off guard, but alas, Cure is in position. He's ready for it. He does hold. He even goes for his own counterattack, catches some drones, and he will deny this southern base. But this is still anyone's game. He wants that fungal. He wants it, man. Going to quite be able to get it. Lurker's looking to cut him off. Dark rotating everything towards the southern portion of the map. Collapsing on this army. The power bombs. Good split, but medevacs are going down. Here we go. Now Dark can focus on this space. He's going right for the ghosts. And the ghosts are getting caught out. There is no escape. More ghosts are coming in. So many of them go down the mineral line as well. Dark also bleeding out a lot of his army. Both players trade. The difference being is that Cure loses his economy. Dark loses a lot of his Lingbane and Lurkers as well. The Hydras, they get caught out in the retreat. GG gets caught. Dark has nothing left. And Cure takes a series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. I thought Dark was going to be able to catch those ghosts, and he did. It was one of those moments where like he caught like, what was it, like 7 ghosts at the third base, and then we pan up and there's like 20 ghosts coming in. It's like, oh, I see. That was not the final form of Cure. Cure able to shut down the army, take out the Lurkers, take out the Hydras, and Dark, he ran out of steam. Didn't have a bank behind it, didn't have the best economy behind it. Cure was doing such a great job at not just keeping the creep at bay, but denying bases. And Cure takes the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. It was pretty close. I say pretty close. Initially, it was Cure in the driver's seat, and Dark was just trying to survive long enough to get Lurkers to stabilize, to be able to be on par with Cure. That did happen, but despite getting into those Lurkers, we saw that Dark was having a hard time actually getting damage done with them. He was denied entry into the main bases. He was denying the 6th base. If you remember, he was like canceling some building CCs, but he wasn't really denying the planetaries themselves or any of the bases that were mining. Cure was looking solid, quite solid, and he does take down Dark. And I did not see the updates, but exclamation mark B in the chat. If you look at the back of yourselves, we have our finals. From the top, from the very top, Solar may have taken down Bjorn, but Solar was eliminated by Gumiho in the upper semifinals, and as we know, Dark also taken out by Cure in the lower semis. It is going to be a TvT finals between Gumiho and Cure. Let's go.